And we would look to discuss their journey, the build-up to the Super Falcons heading to Cote d'Ivoire for African Cup of Nations 2023. And joining me for this conversation is Organ, and he's ready to go, raring to go. Organ, how are you doing?
I'm good, very well. It's nice to be here again. Always looking forward to coming here.
Okay, you look fired up for it. I'm fired up as well. And let's start with, of course, how it all began, all right? We know that the Super Falcons clinched qualification after that victory against Sierra Leone. Victor Osimhen getting a brace. It was fantastic over the weekend. If you've not seen his assist, you should go and see it. And we hope he can, be a blockbuster player for us, an important player for us right there. But in terms of preparation, aside the 16-0 aggregate score between the Super Eagles and Sao Tome and Principe, not many Nigerians have been convinced, and you probably can understand why. But for you, do you think that heading into that tournament in less than a month's time, they're ready to go all the way to even win it?
Yeah, every team participating in this competition has equal time for preparations, and I believe that if everything is set, if there is a plan, that is why we have a coaching crew. If there is a plan, I believe they will just exhibit that plan to the AFCON. Just telling there's a structure, telling the players, okay, this is what I want you to do, this is how I want you to go about it, and I believe that yes.
You spoke about planning and coaching, two very important factors here that we must mention. And in the last friendlies against Lesotho and Zimbabwe, those were, one of two of three factors that we lacked, right? In 1-1 draws against Lesotho and Zimbabwe. And I think the third was conviction, which has been an overall theme since over a year now that Jose Peseiro was appointed as coach of the Super Eagles. Right? They've lacked conviction in terms of planning, in terms of tactics, in terms of application on the pitch as well. We can wrap it all up and say, right now, it doesn't look like there's a style of play, and many Nigerians are concerned heading into that tournament.
Well, in the past few games, we've had the coach explore several formations, 4-4-2, 4-3-3, and all. But I'll say that one of the reasons why it's like that, I feel, it's because we have different set of players coming into the camp.
But he makes the selections.
Yeah, he makes the selections.
Yes.
But we had, of course, the selections will be influenced by players that are available. How fit are they? How much fit are they?
Okay.
What are the injuries?
I think I buy that. I tend to agree with that because Wilfred Ndidi, a key cog in the wheel, was injured, in the back end of this year.
Yeah.
In the last friendlies and matches they've had to play, and that's quite important because in midfield I've always agreed to the fact that we are lean there, and
yeah, very lean.
It's a priority position that brings a lot of concern for Super Eagles followers, and well, we hope he can do something about that. But I can't buy the same point when it comes to the attack. We are spoiled for options in the attack.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Again, apart from the Sao Tome and Principe game, against Lesotho, against Zimbabwe, you saw the likes of Taiwo Awoniyi, you saw the likes of Victor Osimhen, you saw the likes of this Atalanta guy, Ademola Lookman,
yeah.
Kelechi and Acho. Is not spoiled for options up front. But in terms of total structure, as you said, and then coordination, how the team works together into a fine unit, we've not seen it. Like, Nigerians are not convinced, and that's the concern.
I feel that by the time they go into the tournament proper, there is though there might be a limited time to actually compress things, but I'm sure that the background check right now from the coaches should be, this is what we want to do, this is our plan, this is how we want the players. Okay, these are the players that we fitting into the plans, and this is how we want to go about it. Okay. And I'm hoping that
we have to do some opposition watch. We have to consider those that Super Eagles will be facing. They're in Group A, and they're against Equatorial Guinea, they're against Guinea-Bissau, and they're also up against Cote d'Ivoire, who are the hosts. And I'd like to start with Cote d'Ivoire, two-time champions of this tournament in 1992 and in 2015, and they've got great home support right behind them. Yeah. And I flash back, and there have been times in the past where They used to have a golden generation, the likes of Didier Drogba, Cheikhou Tiote, the likes of Yaya Toure, and then his brother as well. They used to have, but they have some quality players, some decent players now. Nicolas Pepe, you want to mention Ibrahim Sangare, who plays for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
But how do we approach this kind of challenge? Most essentially, you have to consider their home support right behind them.
Well, over time, we know that the match between Nigeria Super Eagles and Cote d'Ivoire has always been a clash of titans. But at the same time, like I said earlier, the pattern of play, the plan work, actually boils down to the coaches. So and being exhibited by the players. So what do we want to get? How do we want to get it? I see that match as one thing I just want. Okay, Nigeria Super Eagles, go into the game, put your best. If you can get a point, I think that would be fair.
Okay,
because if you have defeated
technically speaking, it could be like you are playing against 12 men. 12 men, yeah, because you have home support can be the 12th man on the pitch for them. But let's focus on the Guineas now, because we have two Guineas in this group. First of all, Equatorial Guinea. This will be their 4th appearance at the African Cup of Nations. They first appeared in 2012, and then from 2012 to 2015, their best finish in the tournament was in 2015. They finished 4th, and also they appeared in 2021, and now this in 2024. Yeah, for AFCON 2023, by the way. What do you reckon will be the kind of challenge that this team can pose, right? They have pedigree to finish 4th in a tournament. Although when you compare it, you want to flip it and say, oh, the Super Eagles have great pedigree too. Yes. In fact, the Super Eagles are the most successful team in that group.
Yeah.
All right, but football now is so competitive, and I don't know, what do you fashion can be a realistic target against this side?
I feel that we need to be careful, especially from Equatorial Guinea. They've been consistent, as it were, for the past 4 years. For the past 4 tournaments, pardon me. And I feel that they have a process. There is a process they have. Those set of players that are coming into this competition now have been coming for, I think, 2 competitions now. Yeah. And they already know the ins and the outs of this competition. Probably the only difference might be weather, the atmosphere, then the set of players they are playing against, and the formations, as it were. But I believe that due to the process, there is going to be they're going to blow our minds.
Okay. So what are you tipping? Straight win, a stroll in the park for Super Eagles? For
Super Eagles, I believe we'll still take 3 points from Equatorial Guinea.
You believe or you wish? Which
I
one?
believe.
Let's talk about Guinea-Bissau, all right? This is going to be their 4th appearance at the tournament as well. And they've been here 2017. They started their journey in this tournament 2017, and they've been consistent. 2017, they made it in. 2019, they made it in. 2021, they were there, and now they're here. But hey, their best finish in a group, in a African Cup of Nations tournament is in the group stage. They've never advanced beyond the group stage before. On paper, it looks good for the Super Eagles, but off paper, because football is played on the pitch. What do you reckon the Super Eagles can do about this?
I do not want to talk them down, but I believe that they also have their own plans too. And at the same time, I still feel that the end result will still be Super Eagles going there, picking the 3 points also. I believe that at the end of the day, every team has their own structure, has their own plan, but what we stand out is individual play.
Okay.
Individual, how do I put it?
Quality within the ranks.
Yes, qualities within the ranks.
I think that can be
Super Eagles has. We have more.
Well, I don't know if to agree with you, because in the qualifiers, many Nigerians like myself have not been convinced. We'll see. It's less than a month from now, but I want to take your predictions now. What are you predicting? Does Nigeria finish 2nd, 1st? How do you reckon this will end in the group?
I believe Nigeria should finish 1st in the group with 7 points. 7 points. Defeating
That's a bold prediction.
Guinea-Bissau, and having a draw with Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay. Well, Nigeria will kick off their campaign on the 14th of January, and we can now wait till that time to see. Of course, we're building up. It's a build-up. It never ends here. We'll continue to see how well they can do. How the preparations is, because we know, okay, a 55-man squad list was mentioned, but it's not official. But when there's an official squad list, we can then begin to consider, the combinations, the quality within the ranks, and all of that. But then, hey, we are here for the period to give you the very, very best of analysis, and of course, Organ, I'm sure, will be mostly here as well. Thank you very, very much for watching this episode of the Nutmeg, and you can be part of the community by subscribing to our channel here on Guardian Nigeria, and you could also tap the notification bells to get our latest content every time they drop. And many thanks, Gorgan, for making it here once more. Always good to have you. Always a pleasure to have you here. And for you, our listeners, many thanks for watching as well. My name is Ayomide Shotubo, and I'll see you much later on the Nutmeg. Enjoy the festive period.